I wonder about the most random stuff possible. And in this case, is it like, why don't vampires have more advanced security systems? Like, why don't they have Brinks or ADT constantly monitor their home for invaders or have a ring doorbell or something like that? I'm like, or have a steel door. I'm like, this is 2025. You may want to upgrade your systems rather than just living in some musty old castle. At least we get something in Fright Night from 1985, starring Roddy McDowall and a whole bunch of other people whose names elude me. Yeah. So there's this horror movie loving kid who is making out with his girlfriend when he notices that there are some people transporting a coffin into a vacant house. And he's like, hey, what's going on here? And at first he's like, okay. And he starts noticing that there are some murders happening. He confronts the vampire, and the vampire does get upset. But we also see the vampire suave and debonair and things like that. And it's like, okay, I can see where this is going. And of course, there's like some. Of course, the kid manages to recruit this horror TV host. Thinking like Sven Gulli or Elvira, and he's always like introducing and things like that. And first, it's like Peter Vincent, Cushing, and Price, respectively, does not want to is reluctant to do so because he's got eviction and got fired, but because of when because like, okay, I will come and join you at this person's house after he gets paid $500 in a savings bond, but that's irrelevant. Um, Noah says, hey, the vampire does not cast reflections. Like, dun dun dun. Yeah, and then we get some interesting stuff going on because it's like what's happening is that it's having fun with the standard vampire tropes, but it's not making fun of everything. It's kind of just giving it a 1980s identity, I guess the word would say. You know, kind dim lighting, low camera angles, a nice, beautiful cathedral-ish house. It looks really nice. I mean, they for what was that, an $8 million budget back in 1985, they managed to just make it look well. These sets are of great particulance, and I'm like, yes, I like what I see. Let's have the giant stained glass window. Let's have some grand staircases. Let's have a rather intense, let's have a nice dance scene. But what I like most of all is vampires that have super strength, super speed, that look intimidating. They're not just like they're not just gothic or I mean, it's like I like the ones in Thou Shall Not Build, but this is just what I want. Actual powerful vampire. And it's like we get to see feats of strength. We get to see the super speed. We get to see him hoist several people up, including a lumbering giant, and throw him. I'm like, yes, I want intimidation. I want some suave and debonair. And the actor who did it, I forget whose name eludes me. I'm like, does a good job because he was classically trained and theatrically you can tell it was in a theater, of course. Brings a certain charm about him, but provides different sides, if you will. So we get we get the suave, debonair kind of Bela Lugosi side, but then later we get the more violent, harsh Christopher Lee side, and heck, we even get a little like reference to Nosferatu when he rises up like that. Yeah, and so I was like, hey, let's have the three major vampires come in here and play a little fun with them, but also pay tribute to them, but do it in a way that's a little bit more modernized. So I like that a lot. Yeah, the makeup is great. I mean, it's like let's have this one guy named Evil Ed, and just show him going underneath some vampires. They look a little bit deranged, I guess, because these are creatures of the night. They are going to look kind of like a little mutated, I guess. Ergo, giving these vampires a different look rather than just what you would see every day. And I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this. I want that. I want to see this. I like that. Music is great. You know, they got the soundtracks. They've got Jay Giles of all people performing Fright Night, the song, and Devo and some other ones that did then contemporary uh music for it for 1985, 4 years before Stradivarius's Fright Night album, which features an 8-minute, 19-second long song. That'd be interesting, but video too. Anyway, yeah, this is a good movie. Particularly, it's like I said, there's a dance scene about maybe roughly an hour in, and we get to see people dancing. We get to see some terror done in the right way because it's personal. It's just not like everyone's just getting terrorized. It's just a small group of people, and they feel the wrath and the fear as they try to destroy these vampires. And the last third of when the girl, spoilers, when Amy is slowly becoming a vampire, we get to see the house in the basement and everything else. I'm like, this is the full ending, the big climax that I want to see for a while. And I'm like, yes, we're getting that. We're seeing the house get slowly destroyed, the Hell House, as I would like to call it. And you know, when the sun bursts in and starts to weaken the vampires and everything else, I'm like, good. This is what I want. Yeah. So I enjoyed that. Tom Holland, not Spider-Man, but the director, did a good job. This was a labor of love with the writing the script and thinking about, hey, how can a boy manage to stop a vampire from who moves next door? I'll prevent it. Is like, oh, let's kind of bring in the the TV show horror host or whatever. And it's like, hey, let's kind of insert this and let's have some like everyone having a good time shooting the film and everything else like that. And even the guy who played Jerry went underneath 8 hours of makeup in order to transform into the scenes. But of course, you know, it's like, hey, I want to help the crew out, so I'm going to work on the nails for my character, and even have him bite an apple because for whatever reason, it's like bats are attracted to apples. So after the vampire would devour a victim, he'd kind of have an apple to help cleanse the guts or whatever. So this is a really gosh darn good movie. Some people may not like I guess. I mean, really, I really didn't have any problems with it. People may not, just keep in mind, this is like a 1980s movie. You know, you're going to get a little bit of cliches here and there. It doesn't do, some people say, you know, like, it doesn't do too much to distinguish itself from, say, like the Lost Boys or the 1960s Hammer Dracula movies. But you know what? I think that because they bring in a TV host and pay homage in just the right ways, but still give this movie its own identity, you know, with the good lighting and the great camera angles and stuff, I really do recommend that you watch Fright Night from 1985.